Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Tracy Brown, Tracy Brown. Tracy Brown Live. Tracy Brown Live. Tracy Brown. Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live.
My favorite symbol is the tree of life.
Maybe somebody subbing by accident. Was it you? Hi, Jaloni. Hi. Look at you. I love when my men show up. Hi, Mimi Jackson. Hi, Sly. How you doing? Hi. Love when my men show up. The men's are showing up. Hi, Tarika. Good health. Good health this evening, everyone. Tarika always reminds me. Tarika, did I see you in Escribo Gems live feed tonight with her beautiful crystals? I went crazy, as always. I always go crazy. Did you get anything? I'm ready for this one. Oh, thank you. Hi, Stephanie. Hi. I was there. Okay. Because I guess on IG, it's extra. So I was like, is that the same girl? But it looked like the same picture that you changed, similar picture. Good, excellent health. Thank you, Skye, Sly. Good, excellent health to you too. And I'm still gonna go to your SD website. I just haven't been able to do it because I moved, and then once I moved, I was learning how to move, learning how to be in a particular space. But if the offer still stands, I'd love to get something from your website. And I thank you for that, because you're so talented. And you know I want to bring you on to create these magical books, right? To help design the books. I have two people, you and Mary Foster, who I had in the feed last week. It still does. Okay. Oh, the offer still stands. Thank you. So I can't wait to do that. And then there's so many things that needs to be done. There's a whole nother book coming out from praise God, from the group me as well. So there's just a lot going on. Yes, I have my locks in my IG picture. Oh, okay. All right. Hi, B. Angie. Hi, Beauty B. I made it on time for a live. Yeah, this is Tracy After Dark. And Tracy After Dark, sometimes I'll get people that never get to, because, I do these mostly during the day. Let me just see. I asked Skye to come on board with me, but I don't think she's getting my messages. So how's everyone doing today? Are you going to do Little Dirk? He sounds like a rapper, and I don't really do rappers. Yeah, I don't know if I care if there's drama around a rapper. He's a rapper. I normally don't do rappers. I don't think you really notice. The most I might do is Cardi B. I don't even do Meg Thee Stallion. I definitely don't do Nicki. I don't do Little Kim. Like, it's very rare that I would do a rapper. I have to be emotionally invested to do a rapper. And I'm emotionally invested with Cardi. Yes, he's a rapper. Not doing it. Not doing it. Not doing it. They got too much. Like, come on. Like, male rap is not even in, because most of the male raps are still talking about money, hoes, and bitches. And there's a whole BLM movement. And unless you're going to be like Drake and do a better job, no, I'm not doing a rapper. I don't care what's going on around them. I don't care. No. Healthy evening, CW. Yeah, and there were 3 accidental shootings in Hollywood's lifetime. I think this is the 3rd, right? That's what I read today. Did a little research. Hollywood shootings. Should have copied it and sent it to Skye. Hollywood shootings. Film. It's not going to come out right. I read somewhere, I think on Twitter, where there were like 3. Bruce was one of them. Bruce Lee's son was one of them, and it ruined his career. Right? Is that the one? Like, we never really saw his career pick up after that. And that's what I'm going to look at with Alec Baldwin. Hi, CJR LLC. Hi, Karen. Hi, sweetie. Wait, Southern Girl, did you answer me? You're glowing. Thank you. Southern Girl. Southern Girl. Southern. Where are you? Southern Charm. I don't know. I think I would have remembered some Southern Charm. I deleted somebody by accident with Southern something. Does anybody know how to undelete them on YouTube? Bruce Lee's son was killed. Oh, Bruce Lee's son died. Oh, he died. Well, and it ruined his career. I feel like Alec, stuff like, there is something up with this accidental shooting. I feel like they set Alec up. Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like this was a whole setup because of Trump. I feel like they never really got over his SNL sketches, and I think that, like, not to take him out, because that would look suspicious, right? So what do? You set up a Hollywood film crew. And interesting enough, I read before coming on that the set was completely dangerous, period. That 1/2 hour before the shooting, the union people left the building. That production, like they protested, and then production was like, get out. And then they brought in non-union people, and I don't know if you've ever been on a set. Non-union people can be anybody. Like, you don't even need credentials when you're non-union. So this is so interesting, because this came right after a strike that they were supposed to have, and averted the strike. But I would think that if they would have really considered what the strike was about, maybe this death wouldn't have occurred either. Because it was a low budget film. But if you know the film industry, even though it's a low budget, it's either union or non-union. And never show the two mix, right? So a union, even if it's low budget, means, unless I'm wrong, but most times it means everyone should be with the union, except extras. So it's my understanding you can't take a union budgeted film and turn it into non-union. But they had a lot of questions and issues, the union people, particularly around gun care, and walked off the set. And for whatever reason, no one could agree. And they finally told the union people to go home. And there was something about being promised lodging, but the closest lodging they could find was 50 miles away after doing something like a 16-hour day, something like that, 12 to 16 hours, to then have to travel an hour for lodging, which none of that makes sense. It's because that's an hour's drive, right? 50 miles away is about 50 minutes or more. In Los Angeles, 50 miles could be 3 hours. 5 miles could be 3 hours in Los Angeles. But I'm thinking where they were in Santa Fe, it shouldn't have been like that. So I'm thinking it should have been at least 50 minutes, up to an hour, up to an hour and 15 minutes maybe. I'm a part of the union ever since I was 20. He ain't tell no lies. Who's he? The prop gun should have been tested before they used it on set, yes. I mean, that's what I'm trying to explain. Like, to give direction now when there were non-union people on set. And they don't have the wherewithal to challenge production, right? Union people do. Non-union people just want to be paid. So they're not coming with something's wrong here. They're coming with, yes, sir, let me do whatever you tell me to do, which is why we have union people. And to be honest with you, to be really, really honest with you, when the union people walked off set, anybody else that was in any type of union was supposed to walk too. The thing about union is you stick together. That's an old rule. I guess nobody understands that in this new age group. If one union group walks off, everybody in the union walks off. They should have never been able to finish that film that day. And they should have had answer to whoever was financing the film. And whoever was financing the film should have had somebody on set there. Because it was a low budget film. So somebody should have been on set. So, let's see what everybody is saying. I heard Bruce Lee's son was a setup, though. Solidarity. Thank you, Lanita. A cute name. Solidarity. Oh, no. No, 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 no. No, he'll never get charged for murder. No, 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 no. He was the actor, and he picked up a prop that should have been tested. No, no. I am going to see if his career is over. That's what I'm really going to see. And could it be over for a lot of reasons? Like, right? The public is very unforgiving, right? The public is unforgiving. Like, Nobody's going to want to see this movie Rust, right? I mean, in this day and age, really, who does Westerns, right? In this day and age, who does Westerns? Westerns is such a racist movie. Like, it's so against Native American Indians. Like, in this day and age, who does Westerns? It's stupid unless it's a comedy, unless it's includes Native American Indians, right? Who just does white Westerns anymore? Like, it's so, like, nobody's thinking anymore. No one is thinking. Like, all this craziness and not being considerate of other people needs to stop. Like, spiritually, again, I know I'm harping on white culture a lot lately, and to all my white friends, please forgive me. But it says a lot about the inconsiderateness of people. Why do another Western? Right, if it's satire or if it's making fun of the movies Western back in the day, but in this day and age, why do a Western? They weren't nice movies. They got it all wrong. Right? Am I wrong? Of course I'm not wrong. I don't know why they were real bullets, Destiny, except that I was just explaining that union left the building. So union workers left. But they were negotiating. And then production said they would call the cops if they didn't leave. So this now falls back on production, not the union. Union saw the tragedy coming. When you say he, are you talking about Alec Baldwin? Now, me personally, I think he was set up by Republicans. Because he kept making fun of Trump, and right up until the season finale, right? Even in the season finale, and Trump, he didn't like that. Allegedly. I kid Republicans. Don't get mad at me. It's just a theory. He being Alec Baldwin. So what did you say? Alec Baldwin went off about how the roles had been coming in and blamed it on the union. Well, and now we have somebody dead. What are you talking about, Alec Baldwin? Like, there's union for a reason. They're just experts in their technical fields of this, that, and the third, right? Listen, if somebody was doing lighting up there, lighting and how they get the colors, right? And these are people that are experts. Now, could they use more people of color? Yes. Well, let's not even talk about that right now. Like, lighting, right? And they're fixing the lighting, and they decide to fire the union lighting guy that knows his job to perfection. And they bring in a crackhead that knows nothing about lighting. But you've got some bossy producer going, just stick it up there. Just stick it up there. This stuff really happens in theater and movies. And everybody's petrified, right? Because they're 100 miles away from home. They're tired. They've been at this for 10 days. There's been a lot of complaints going on. So, my God, crackhead, just put the light up. Like, even you would be chanting, put the light up, put the light up, put the light. Like, seriously, I know what goes on. And then the lighting falls on someone and kills someone. That's the gun and the bullet scenario. Union kept complaining about, seriously, about gun safety, because what is Western but gun shooting? Wow. So Alec Baldwin's first mistake was a low budget film. Western, should have never did a Western. And he has some producing credits in this, so he does have some responsibility. And I would like to know how he fit into this. Hi, Melissa. So let's see. And I believe you, Beauty Bee. Oh, you're so pretty. I totally believe you. All right. Hi, good health. I am Empress Daphne. Hey, sweetie. Hi, Marlene. Hello. Good health, Marlene. So I see what you mean. Okay, so you guys are getting it, because it's starting to become hard to explain this. All right. So please, God, talk to me. Talk to me about Alec Baldwin. Please allow me to see anything and everything that you would like for me to see. All eyes are on Alec Baldwin. So he might have a direct problem. He might. Who said could he be charged with murder? All eyes are on Alec Baldwin. Please allow me to see anything and everything that you would like for me to see. Alec Baldwin is your child. He's your love. He's your beloved, Father God. Ooh. Please authorize me to see and say what you would like for me to say and see. I love you, God. I love you, Jesus. In your name I pray. Amen, amen, amen. All right, guys. Alec Baldwin. Is his career over? And I will definitely check to see if he could be charged for murder. The first thing I'm getting is sadness, ending, and a new beginning. This is so sad. Unbelievably sad, because whoever this woman was, Hannah, she was just excellent at her job. Excellent. Travel, romance, potential, repressed emotions, healing, reflection. That's him trying to heal from this. Choose wisely. If he had anything to do with Union walking off set, he will get the butt of this blame. How do you pronounce that? Hauna. Maybe the Y is silent. Lights. All eyes on Alec Baldwin. He is going to be the face of this killing. All eyes on him. Movement, choices, decision. I think they had other options. And because the budget was so low, at this stage of the game, they did not give two hoots about paying the union people. They thought they would save money at this point because they had about 10 more days. Do the numbers. If you're paying union $100 an hour and you can get some other idiot to do it for $20 an hour, they save money, which means money that can get translated into Alec Baldwin's pocket. Definitely some regret, and most likely could force him to walk away from the industry. It's so global that, see, it wasn't just a killing on set, right? It was Alec Baldwin that did it. And his name is now notorious with this killing. Time is his best friend, but time could be, I don't know how old he is, but time could be like maybe in 15 years he can resurrect his career. Does anybody know Alec Baldwin's sign? Where was the prop master? See, Giacana knows things. They didn't have a prop master, sweetie. They fired any union people, so a prop master would have been union. I get a king of disc here, king of pentacles, so that's a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn in my past. You know, I think it was a setup, Alec. I'm sorry. I think you were screwed at saying yes to this film. I think it's saying yes, you were screwed. I think you were willing to brag about a cheap movie that made a lot of money, one, or you wanted to brag about a cheap movie in the middle of a pandemic, right? You didn't want to spend, you meaning everyone, and you didn't want to spend a lot of money, but you wanted to be working. So I have to tell you, a lot of your ego was in this because you were going to spin this, right? You were going to spin this in advertisement or junk press. And you were going to find a way to get paid to promote the movie. So there was some back-end deal coming for you that you weren't that worried that it was a low-budget film, right? Right now, there's something here where you want to look invisible, right? But here's the thing about the Fool card. The Fool card always has a dog in it, right? And in one of the decks, the dog is nipping at a piece of clothing, right? This one looks like it's trying to say something to the girl, right? This one looks like she's trying to say something. Like this is one of those dogs, like that kind of thing. Like, stop walking. Has anyone seen this one Facebook thing that is circulating about this little boy near this banister? And there's a parent watching. First of all, parent, you're an idiot. Because it takes 2 seconds for something like that to happen. And there are just certain things I would not be taping so easily. But in any case, the baby's near the banister. And the cat is like, get away from the banister. And it was so cute to watch the cat be so protective, even though the parent was filming it. So there's something weird going on there. I still feel bad for the child because this shouldn't have been a thing. But I say that because it's circulating. And this reminds me of this little girl and the dog, where the dog is like, don't take another step. Now, the thing that's interesting about the Fool card, if you look at it, right, it looks like she's about to go off the edge. This one is made up a little different. But it literally looks like she could go off the edge. But it's not necessarily so. So, you ever go up a steep hill and you don't know when it's going to end? And when you go up the steep hill, it kind of feels like a roller coaster ride. And so when you get to the peak, which you don't even know when it's coming, you get to the peak, you swear to God there must be a down, and it's like this. It just goes smooth, right? So that's the Fool. Like, you can fall off a cliff, which is why the dog is there, or you won't. Like, you take the chance, and lo and behold, you don't. This also reminds me of Simone Biles. I remember texting Simone Biles, right? And I remember saying, don't go. Don't go. Where was it? In Korea? I was Japan. I was like, don't go to Japan, right? And then I felt stupid for saying that to her, right? But I just texted it to her, and she's not going to get my text, right? And sure enough, once she came back, she was like, I wish I hadn't gone. Yeah, I didn't want her to go because of COVID. It turned out it was much worse than I thought. I thought she was going to catch COVID. It was never about COVID. It was about her having vertigo. All right. So, Alec Baldwin had the opportunity to think better. And I feel like he didn't think. And I think, much like the production company, the finance company, and Alec, all of them were like, we're finishing this. We got 10 days. Let's finish it without union. And you get a precarious balance, right? So on the one hand, they were completely cognitive about what they were doing. And on the other hand, they turned their back and was irresponsible, right? And look how they're juggling these two girls. Now, technically, this is almost like the fool card. Somebody's going to fall. Somebody has to fall, right? Two people can't juggle a tightrope. That doesn't make sense. Not without a break in the rhythm, in the system, right? Eventual break, especially if the wires that hold this up was put together by crackheads, right? Who's putting this together? Who put the wires together? Did you see what I mean? Okay. There was deception. There was. At this stage of the game, I do believe he was lied to. I do believe somebody said clear or whatever, and whatever terminology they're supposed to be using, I do believe he was misinformed on purpose. And I'm sticking to that. This is so familiar to Hollywood. And when I say familiar, I mean constant issues with the use of guns and fake live rounds. I don't know the difference. I did research it. A fake gun can still have gunpowder in it because the sound is real. Something crazy. In any case, they are definitely going to change all the rules around gun care. So, I think personally there's no need for it to sound real, right? I think the film industry is taking a big hit. I think COVID shut it down. And I think if you all would just listen to COVID, just listen to COVID, a lot of these tragedies wouldn't be happening. Wasn't there something weird that happened on Black Panther too? There was some tragedy that happened on Black Panther too. Like, you're supposed to be shut down. And if you stop looking at the money that you're losing and realize that COVID is in charge, no one should be working right now. And that is the bottom line. You know, you're supposed to be wearing masks. You're not supposed to be working. Like, we're not supposed to be back to normal. And if we, girl, I think Skye wants to come on. So let me take a picture and see if she wants to come on. Hold on a second. Oh, wait. How do I do that? Yes. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. All right. Let me just send this to her. And that way she can give her side, because I've spoken fully on everything I wanted to say. And I don't know how much time I left on. Oh, yes, they do. I got 15 minutes on. Cha. All right. I think this bullet, the bullet heard around the world, the bullet heard around the world will change the industry yet again. This is a very, very selfish, self-absorbed industry, and it just needs to slow down. It just needs to slow down, right? It's like you shut down, and when you could get back to work, everybody was like, get back to work, get back to work. But that's not what COVID wanted. COVID wanted everyone to slow down. Take your time. Come on over to YouTube. Take your time. You know, come back up responsibly. Who the hell does a low budget film in the middle of a pandemic? Because that tells me y'all didn't even carry COVID protocols. There's so much crap that's going to come out of this. It's not even funny. Oh, thank you. These are Rachel True's deck. I really like it. It's Rachel True's deck. Huh. I really like it. Rachel True from The Craft, the movie The Craft. This is her deck. It's a really good deck. I like it a lot. So, there you have it. Oh, let me make sure I sent it to her. Okay, did. So there you have it. It's my understanding everyone felt Brandon Lee was set up. Why though? Why was Brandon Lee set up? Again, I don't do rappers. I don't, at the time, I didn't do karate. Why? Oh yeah. It's the girl from The Craft. She came out with her own deck. Perfect timing too, by the way. Why was Brandon Lee set up? I mean, I've heard that over the years, but I don't follow karate movies. So, I think Alec Baldwin is going to lose money. I think in hindsight, oh, Alec. Oh my God. Oh, child. Everything crumbles. Everything crumbles. And you know what's interesting about this deck? Look at the hands holding the building. Like literally, those are Alec Baldwin's hands. This crumbled by his own hands. So I think, Alec, you had an executive decision getting rid of union. And your union. Your union. And you've been union for 20,000 years. How dare you get rid of union and participate in that decision? This was waiting to happen. He needs money. He's got so many kids. Well, now he has no money. Now nothing will be coming in. Oh, karate secrets, huh? All right. Let me see if he goes to jail. Oh, child, that would be sad because the tower is no joke. Darn it, just dropped the card. I think a lot of the union crew is gonna vomit up information. I think they love the cinematographer. But to be honest with you, she would have been union too, and she should have left. Everyone just should have left. You'll hear more in about 2 weeks. There's something international that you'll hear as well. This isn't just a local thing. I remember when he did that Infinite. I mean, that clearly shows that maybe he never grew from calling his daughter a pig, right? I think if you can call your daughter a pig, then you operate like a pig to others. Got it, Mrs. Mahogany. That actually makes so much sense. Yeah, so remember how you and I never really forgot that incident with his daughter, right? This is times 10 plus 100,000. Like, this is worse. Remember that time when we saw him eating a sandwich on the floor, stinking drunk, and his daughter taped it? This is times 10, only 250,000 times worse. Oh yeah, beauty. You can look it up. Something with the divorce and custody. It was a nightmare. But he got caught out there reaming his daughter. I think in the audio, right? The daughter was so smart. I think she taped everything. That's how much she hated her dad. Oh, Lord, Alex. Oh, that was David Hasselhoff drunk with the sandwich. Then he was the audio. He was, right? He was one with the audio, cussing his daughter out, I think on the wife's cell phone or something, ex-wife. All right, so I was waiting to see if Skye wanted to come on, but I am about to lose Instagram, and I do want to finish this for you guys, right? So let's get the final outcome. Alex, I see no more jobs for you. I think your home is up for grabs. I think you will forever be in the limelight for the worst possible reasons. And I think you'll be in the limelight for the next 2 years because there's definitely going to be a trial, right? There has to be a trial because somebody killed this woman. I think you want to be plucked out safely so that you don't get pulled under the wire. But I don't think you're safe from your name being called out. I think 3 people are in charge, and I think you all were like workhorses. You treated these people like dirt. And in the COVID, in Uranus and Taurus, I mean, I just wish I can speak to everyone. In Uranus and Taurus, whatever you used to do 2019, don't do it. Don't do it anymore. Like, this has everyone, not just Alec Baldwin, not just celebrities, everyone. Whatever dumbass shit you used to do in 2019, stop it. Because whatever it is, it's gonna get 10 times worse. So if you're cheating, stop. Stop. Just leave your spouse, right? Because it's not just cheating, it's worse. I don't even know what's worse. I can't even imagine what's worse, right? I'm sure Alec Baldwin didn't wake up and think, oh, today is going to be the worst day of my life. No, I can't even imagine what's worse. I can only tell you that in Uranus and Taurus, I think for the next 11, 15 years, this is him. I think his life is over in terms of financial and all that other stuff. Child, this is terrible. Oh no, I did this already. Let me just see something. Terrible. But to be honest with you, he's in his own personal hell. No one has to beat him up. This man killed someone. He is in his own personal hell. Think about what he is going through right now. It's unsafe. Like, do you get to sleep tonight? He can't. Do you understand? Like, there's got to be some sympathy here for him too. He cannot sleep tonight. He may not sleep forever. He has so much regret now, and he wants to get... Oh, that scared me. Oh, Skye. Jesus Christ. Whew. Oh my God, at some point I wasn't expecting you to come on, and I was like, oh my God. Okay. So, ID, come over to YouTube because Skye is about to throw it down. So, I already did my reading. Welcome, Skye. Welcome. How are you?
I'm fine. I didn't even know about Alec.
Ciao.
I really haven't been watching TV or anything, so.
Yeah. And then you read up on it and you were like, oh my God.
I was like, what just happened? But it's so funny that when I read it, I was like, remember he used to do, I could think, wasn't he the one that was doing the Donald Trump impersonation?
Yes.
And I was like, that energy, because he was no different than him.
Oh,
when I read it, it was like so how dare you criticize somebody else and you are no different than him. You're just one and the same. When I read it, I was like, that's what I heard in my head. So this was just spirit saying, oh, you want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Play like you're no different. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now,
So tell me what you see. I've already told my people. They already know.
I don't even cut a call. I'm telling you what I saw, guys. This is me just putting a can in my when I started reading it. Because when Tracy mentioned it to me, I was like, what happened? Because I haven't been watching. So lately for me, I haven't been watching TV or really been on YouTube or really taking in and consuming a lot.
Mm-hmm.
For the kids. But I really haven't been. I've been getting up in the morning listening to meditation music.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like Abraham.
It's very calming in the mornings. Yes.
Abraham, was that Abraham Hicks? I just started watching. I was like, oh, like listening to that more of that and being more in that.
I love Abraham Hicks.
Hey, Franny. I just listened hi. So I really haven't gotten that. But I don't know why, but it was coming. I felt like when I started reading it, this was something that was bound to happen. Like,
yes.
Like he's been ducking so much bull crap, and he's such a nasty person. I got.
Say it.
That he's a nasty person. That this had in order to humble him, like I said, with this new awakening that we're into, people.
Come on. Come on.
I think
everybody. That's exactly my point.
Yeah.
Yes.
He, instead of him awakening and realizing that he had a lot of those traits that Trump had, he was making money from it. Point. But he was not a nice person.
Just as ugly.
Right. He was just as nasty as a person. That was part of his persona. That's who he was. Like, so even when I read I read it a little bit. I closed it. I was like, I don't want to get too much into it. But what I got from it was One, he wasn't listening. He's probably had mistakes before. They probably gave him safety and he didn't listen because he knows everything. And
Mm-hmm.
I got a woman. Was it a woman that got hurt? Or a
Mm-hmm.
man? Was it?
Mm-hmm.
What? What?
A woman got hurt.
No, Tracy. I just read. I didn't
Yeah.
even read. Like I just so I was like, I don't want to get it. I got all that
Yeah,
stuff.
it's true.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Spirit don't never lie. In Tracy's voice, not on my watch. Because
No, spirit don't never lie.
Spirit don't
Never lie. I'm gonna start.
Spirit don't.
Cynthia agrees with you. Arrogant, angry, narcissistic.
Yes. Yes. That's
Oh, wait, Keish. Oh, wait. I apologize, Skye. It was a woman and a man. So the bullet hit the cinematographer, who's a woman, but the director also got injured. So it was a woman and a man.
So who died? The woman?
The woman died.
Spirit don't look, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
That's on period. Like I don't want to get too deep in, but I got that. Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. But this was to happen. He's very arrogant. So this had to happen. And
That's terrible.
And some people are going to start talking about how nasty and mean he is.
Ooh.
Of course, this is
Skye said people are going to be start talking about how nasty and mean he is, and that this happened because he was exactly like Trump. So when he was making fun of Trump, it was himself. It was the same person.
Right. He understood.
He understood how to make funny. He understood how to make fun of Trump and how to get so in depth in that character because it was his personality too.
And he has to change the death card while I'm shuffling. Jumped out to that.
Yes.
Is the end to the old him. But look at this death card, guys.
Yeah.
It's down to his skin and bones. Like he's gonna have to really. He's gonna be kissing butt, apologizing. He's gonna pay the family. He's gonna do a lot of. So he's not gonna be the same after this. I didn't even hear what you talked about, Tracy. He's not gonna be the same after this.
Yeah, I know, but I also got the death card.
You did?
Yes.
And look at
the card that I'm using. It's very similar to yours.
Tracy did
Skin and bones.
Skin and bones. Wow.
And mine shows a new person coming through, like reborn, like. But that's the same words that you used.
Yeah. Wow. And that's what I'm thinking of. That what is that called? That the deaf person holds.
A staff. No,
right, it's cutting away whatever.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called, but you know it. You know what it is.
Wow.
Cloak and dagger, like a dagger. Cloak and dagger. Yeah.
That's funny that you. I'm shuffling the cards that came out. Let's see what else I get. That was funny. Not funny, but a whole bunch of cards have dropped.
I mean, yeah, Alec is eating humble pie, but what kind of child? If I gotta eat humble pie, I don't want it to be this ugly. So I just want to encourage everyone to consider changing your lives over because everything backfires now. Everything boomerangs.
So, you guys saw me shuffle. Like I said, y'all don't even know I've had dozed off. I came in and knocked out and dozed off. So I didn't get to see the show or nothing. So here's a funny thing. I'm shoving my cards. You guys just saw like a whole bunch of cards just dropped on the floor. So Spirit said read them. A lot of things going on here, guys. The second card that's crossing the death card is judgment. So for me, this is a lot of change for him. He's being judged, like we just said, is a lot of change. That's crossing death and judgment, meaning he's been not such a nice person. He was not a nice person.
Mhm.
And when you
Mhm.
look at my judgment card, this is my anybody want to know? I'm into anime, guys.
Yes, I heard. That is so cool.
So if anybody interested in knowing the deck. Thank you, as a C. Thank you. That's what it's called. A sickle. Thank you. Thank you. That's what it is.
Mm.
But this is the deck that I'm using.
Mhm.
So it's definitely these cards are going all around. So there's a lot of confusion because now I can't find stuff. He's in a lot of there's a lot of confusion. He's like thinking, why me? Like a woe is me type.
Yes.
Like why would this
Yes.
happen to me now? I'm just getting back on the top of the game.
Yes. All of it.
He's expecting to do better because of that whole Trump thing revitalized him.
Yeah.
So now with
Yeah.
this happening, if you look at this judgment, his judgment. The next card, while in order, interesting. The next card is lovers. So he's having something going on in his relationship.
Mm.
Not in a relationship
Okay.
of um the relationship with the movies, the people. I think he was
Okay.
having a bad relationship during that connection with that movie. It wasn't going. There's some people gonna start talking about how it wasn't going well. That when he was
Mhm.
being a prima donna, he was being rude, wasn't listening. That
Mhm.
relationship. So when I see the lovers card, that's what I'm getting from it. And for me,
Mhm.
why is stuff dropping out my hand? It wasn't going good, y'all. It wasn't going good. So this was something as a matter of time. And even with the lady, some stuff was going to come out about
Mhm.
how he was dealing with those people. He wasn't quite nice with his people.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes. It wasn't a good thing. The next cards I have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Skye, they were having problems on set.
See, Mrs. Mahogany. Hey, Miss Mahogany. Yeah, I think that's what it was. So the whole interaction with that. The next card was the 5 of Swords. Yeah, and that's in the past. They were having a lot of drama, and it
And
was
I got the 5 of Wands, which is conflict.
yes. Mhm.
They were
That's
having
what.
a lot of conflict.
Sorry, that's what this is. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. These are wands.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes,
You
yes.
gotta look at it again because the swords are different. Yes,
Yes, yes, yes.
and it was about money. I got the 5 of
Yes.
Pentacles.
It was a low budget film. This is
Yep.
my 5 of Wands, Skye. So in Rachel True's deck,
Wow,
it
and
was
look,
all,
the
yes, it was
same
all
fire.
same coloring. It was all,
Wow.
look at the coloring. It's very
The
similar.
same. It was like the same card almost.
Yep.
The
Yep.
coloring, the head, the person. Look at him.
Mhm. Yeah.
The same
Mhm.
color, almost like an
And
anime type card.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I see this, because this is actually snakes on her head,
Mm-hmm.
and the snakes represent trickery, sneakiness,
Mm-hmm.
constant mental conflict, constant. So go ahead,
Yep.
you doing it? Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
The next thing was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4. I have the next one is a 9 of Wands. A lot of see the water guys. There's a
Mhm.
lot of conflict. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Mhm.
He wasn't nice on the set. He thought he needed more money. The people were trying to work with him. They thought they got to catch getting him in off the, but he was already at the not. He was not the bottom of the barrel, but he felt he was a B at best, B actor. But he felt since that whole Trump thing, you know,
Mhm. He could
yeah,
show his ass.
right.
Mhm.
So he wasn't listening, and they walked.
Hold on, Sky. Adrian says to me, 5 represents struggle to me. you're right. But when you ask about this particular question, it's not just the struggle, it's conflict, war, mental. Like, if he does this to me, I'm gonna do this to him. If they don't do this, I'm gonna fire them. So it's more than just struggle in the contents of what actually was going on down there. You're right, but it's more to it.
Yeah, there was more. For that to happen as that, there was more. There was definitely more. And he was not he wasn't pleasant. He was like a prima donna. He wasn't pleasant. So this had to come this way because he was not a pleasant person during the situation.
Right. Right.
Now it's so funny. I'm sort of looking at the bottom of the deck, but when I was plucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The next card that comes up for him, and this is him in the 7th position. Queen of Cups.
He was a girl.
He was a diva. I'm sorry, y'all.
That's terrible.
When you coming up, you see the cup. She's very, it's all about me. It's all or nothing. See the water, very emotional.
Yep.
Be emotional. What baby wants, baby gets. Type of energy. If that makes sense. I don't care if it's anybody. This is my thing. And at the bottom, and some sort of at the bottom of the deck, justice. This is meant to bring him back. This is come to Jesus moment.
But justice could also, in addition to bringing him back, like, my God, people, like, it's so late stage. This actually reminds me of that other guy, right? Like, it's such late stage for you people. It's late stage. That other guy, the guy that went up in the air.
William Shatner.
It reminds me of William Shatner. Like such late stage, and things are happening for you, and at least for Alec, he's not getting it. But to be honest, I don't think William Shatner is going to get it either. He gets it, but he doesn't get it, and he's not going to say it well.
I'm going to say this, guys, and don't take this the wrong way, people. This is, let me put the right words. When men of a certain culture, who people, okay, this gonna be a mind blow moment for some
power.
Thank you.
Supposed power, because he did not have the power, but he had what he thought was white power. You want me to say it?
And that's everybody was making a comment about.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sylvester Jackson.
And to be fair, I like to talk about balance, right? To be fair, this is also a Black man's issue, right? This is a cultural issue with men, right? It's no accident that a woman got killed. That's not the accident.
Yep.
Because the cultural society of men ruling has to stop.
Yes. I think the problem for him is, so I'll put on my card. So in the 8th position, like you said, is the justice card. So for me, the justice card, if you look at it, the eyes are covered. He's at a moment where he has to rethink some things. If you really look at her, she still has a sword in her hand. Different type of, to me, justice card. It's kind of saying they're still in a dark place with the coloring around it, the scar over the head, meaning he has to make some different choices. He's struggling with doing what's right. He knows he has to change. So this stuff that's happening now is for, you ever go through lessons where you keep happening, the same things keep happening over and over, and each time the lesson comes around, it gets harder and harder. This is his Like if you play his video games, this is his final boss moment. Like this is like
Mm,
you'll change from this. I'm gonna have to take you out. Like first it was something
mm.
small, then it's something else. You never change. All right, we do something else. It's a little bit, you still don't change. You're still working the same. You guys understand it. It's almost in the concept of you keep talking to the same guy. You know you're not supposed to talk to him. So the
Yes.
first time he cusses you out, you be like, oh, he didn't mean it. All right. 3 months get back together
Oh.
again. Things are going good. 3 months later, he cussed you out in front of your friends and family. Then you're embarrassed.
Uh-huh.
You get back to him. Like there's always a window of opportunity to leave, and you just never adjust. You never say, "I need to change something about me. It's not him. I need to change something
Yep.
about me." And then the third time around, now instead of him arguing in front of your friends, he argues with you in the street, and then he pushes you, and you fall on the floor, and you still stay. That's the third lesson. So like it gets higher each time. It's a deep.
And next time the cops come, you're a battered woman,
Thank
but the
you.
cops can't prove it. And so they take you to jail, the woman.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that becomes your aha moment.
And you know what's so funny? So the next card, the ninth position, is the star
Mm-hmm.
card. So the star card for me is about things getting better, but I think this is a star card. How it translates to me, guys, if you look at her, she's naked in water. He's very
Mm-hmm.
emotional. I think there's an issue with the family.
Mm.
I feel like it's a family. I don't want to say I'm not a big believer in family curses, but I think the energy of that family in itself is always about let's start all over again. Let's do this. They're always going to have something going on. So when I see this star card and you look at it,
Mm-hmm.
and if you look at her face, what's interesting about her face? Let's pull into her face, guys.
Mm.
It looks really sad. Most star
Yeah.
cards to me are so happy.
Yeah. Why is that one so sad?
Exactly, like she's really sad. And then look around her head, count all the stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Is
6,
it
7, 8,
13?
9, 10, 11. Girl, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have 13 stars, 32 stars on here.
Mm-hmm. What number is star? Star is like 17, right?
17. And
I
that's
don't know why I knew it was 13 though. There's something about that the 13 stars
and
in
also,
some decks.
and here this is so funny. This is you see the lotus flower?
Yes.
You know this family came from nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing to something. From the
Yeah.
mud, from the dirt. So
Yes.
they forget that they come from nothing. So everybody else
Mm.
they're stepping on everybody else.
Good point.
They
Good
forget. So you see
point.
the star
He
card,
was probably poor white trash.
right? They came from nothing. You know,
Right.
his father was, I think,
And forgot. And forgot.
yeah. So you can see that's what I'm getting from the star card in ninth position. This looks unhappy. Like we're gonna
Yeah.
survive, but we're gonna be unhappy. Like the hope, like the family itself is, we should be that family, but we're not.
They have
We
they
should be
they
that
should be like they should be like the Kennedys.
correct, but they're
But
not.
however, Kennedys do have murder and mayhem in their family too, because Cheppaquiddick.
But
Okay.
that's that whole point of they should be a star,
Mm-hmm.
like a star family, and this it's always gonna be something. It's always gonna that
They
family always gonna
never made it there. They couldn't, and they wanted all those brothers to be power men, and they couldn't do it.
and at this
Mm-hmm.
point, you have the kids that are coming up now. If you notice,
Mm.
all these women are keeping. What I'm getting in my head is, and all these women are keeping their kids away from that energy.
Mm.
You ever seen a
Because
family
I never really hear about the kids.
and they have kids? They all have kids.
I know today that the very daughter that ratted him out,
Mm-hmm.
she had to go public and tell people to leave her alone because somehow they got her private number. Hmm.
You know how? Because they
But
put it out.
you never see her. You never see her.
They put it out there. Anyway.
Ooh, because it's a whole setup.
Thank you. In the 10th position, which is really interesting, is the Knight of Wands. Give me these wand cards. But look at this knight. Now, if you look at this knight, look at his face. Very sneaky. And in that shield, it looks like what's it look like to you guys? An eye.
Blood.
Huh? It's a horse.
Oh.
Look at the horse. But from a distance, when you first see it, it's like, what does it look like? A shield? It's a horse. But look at the horse and the eye. I say that in the sense of what I'm getting from this is trickery, sneakiness, still trying to figure out how to. And I think
get over.
Is this night a slow moving night?
It's what night is it? Tell me.
The Knight of Wands.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yes.
Very fast. Not as fast as the Knight of Swords.
Right.
Because the Knight of Wands is jovial fast. So maybe fast and not thinking.
Okay. And what I'm getting from is not going. So when I'm saying not as fast as we think, I think it should be, meaning it's going to come to fruition. So some said, cross this. I need a clarifying card. The clarifying card was the Two of Swords. He has decisions to make. And if you look at this Two of Swords, it's kind of interesting that it's a moon and it's water and emotions, a lot of secrets, along with crossing the Two of Wands. So for me, it should move quickly to make the right decisions, but it's not. He's going to be busy thinking of how does this affect me? How does it affect my family? How does it affect my money?
I see that. Like, not necessarily that a woman got killed, but not sleeping because he's worried, is his life over?
Right. He's worried. He's more worried about money, people.
Yeah.
Not that he took somebody's life.
Yeah.
But this, crossing this, the emotions, he has to make some different decisions. And he knows he has to make some better choices. You know, he knows he has to make some better choices. And the simple fact that this Two of Swords, how it's set up, he's in water. It's a full moon. And look at his face. His eyes are closed like, I hope this doesn't happen. What decision do I make? Which way do I go? What do I do? How am I going to do it? Bringing this back into.
Well, listen, Miss Mahogany said the whole family stole from everyone's culture, and they are the low-budget Kennedy family.
So at this point,
that's the best.
Like you said, it's a little bit. It's not as slow. It's not as fast. Not as fast as the Sword. But for this, and these two tied together, for me, saying this slows this down.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I say that. So I said to clarify this. This slows this down because he's contemplating, what is my next move? How do I get out of this and not without spending a lot of money? How do I keep my money? How do I keep my fame? This puts a stain on me and what people are going to think about me. So he's going to play this, you know, he's going to play this kind of, he's going to play this close to his chest. Ooh.
Yes.
And as I'm shuffling, I have, so let me get clarifying cards. 2 cards pulled out, which were, and I like these animes.
Look at Sylvester. Sylvester's in tarot class, and he's been nailing this reading. He goes, he doesn't want to see the situation, but he has to deal with it. Woo, Sylvester, you're going to do good in tarot class. You're going to do good.
Period. And that's what it's about. So when I see those 2 cards together, and now as I'm shuffling, these 2 jump out, because I'm about to put them back in the deck. It was the 7, the 8 of Cups.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I remember Kim Basinger. That was a nightmare marriage. Go ahead, Skye. 8 of Cups.
No, look,
Go
but
ahead.
look at it.
What does it mean to you?
To me, this 8 of Cups, he's making a lot of decisions. He's leaving the cups behind him. Look in the there's some. These women gonna start talking. These women,
All his wives.
are
all
gonna
his
start
wives.
talking because if you watch it, he's leaving the cups behind, and he's going into like a mountain. Like I said, I like these cultures. They're very detailed.
Yeah. Nice
See,
card.
he has a torch or something in his hand. He's a lot of thought, and there's a lot of secrets.
Yes.
And all these cards that for some reason have all this water,
Yeah.
emotion. The other card that came out with this was the 6 of Swords.
Yeah.
On water.
Yeah.
Again,
More water.
and movement. Like he's thinking a lot of stuff like this is he can't outrun this. Most of the stuff he can kind of, shift and move and again do the status quo thing where I can Jedi mind trick you. You didn't see what you saw. You didn't see it. It wasn't what you thought.
Yeah, it's funny because Terica saw in that 8 of Cups, which is a really good observation, that he's about to become a hermit.
Yeah, it's like his money is sitting here. He's going into the mountains. Everything is his thoughts. He's in a place of I don't know what to do. He can't outrun this.
Nope.
He can't outrun this. And at this point, he can't even play victim. Like you said,
Exactly.
he can't play victim.
You know what I got? I got that there's a whole union issue going on set. That's the conflict that you saw, right?
Oh, okay.
And I read where he was going to get producing credits or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he was partially responsible for the union people leaving because somebody was like, where was the prop master? And I'm like, a prop master would be union. And then they brought in a bunch of crackheads to replace union people.
It's about money.
Yes.
And he is a person who, guys, that is, I'm gonna keep as much money as I can. So if you could do this and you could do this too. Y'all know these jobs. You do one job, you get paid to do one job. They'll be like, oh, you can do that too. Okay. So I'm gonna let you do this too, but give you the same money.
Yes. Oh yeah. So listen, I remember this. I'm forgetting a lot of things about Alec, but remember his wife had this whole issue not admitting that she was Latinx. It was a nightmare, and they ate her alive. And I think she had to admit it finally, right, Barbara? She couldn't keep lying about it. That was ruining his brand too. The fact that she couldn't admit that she was Latinx. It's crazy.
Yeah, baby. I'm trying to get a card out. Let's see my next card.
Yeah, Beauty B, the type that works over. So here's a question I didn't quite get, but I want to look at it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Could he be charged with murder? I mean, I got it, but it wasn't an emphatic, whoa, child. It's going to be a court case. It's going to be a court case, Skye. It has to be.
The family is going to have to push the issue to be a legal, but it's going to come down to more of a, what's that word? Not a civil case, but more of a, was it accidental death? He's going to try to he's on that.
The fact that they got rid of union people.
Yes, but they're going to try to be like, oh.
That becomes murder now.
Yes, but remember, it's a good old boys network.
But we're in a world where that's unraveling. So I don't believe in Oprah's Wet Network. Oh, I'm about to die. Hold on a second. Oh, child. I don't believe in the old tales anymore. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people are going to still try and cover up. Don't get me wrong.
They're going to play the game. I think they're going
to play the game.
I'm gonna play the game. The next deck I'm pulling out, guys. Where's that? I just got these. These Oracle E.
Oh, my back hurts. Oh, child.
Those are these. So let's look and see what it's saying. Like I said, I think they're gonna, there's gonna be some sort of lack of. If it's gonna, the word murder for them is not gonna be. I think they're gonna do more of a family taking the money. They're gonna find out if he was liable. What's that? That's the word. I don't know if that's the right word, guys. Liable.
Yeah,
But as far
that's a word.
But as far as criminally, he's gonna maneuver that. He's gonna play.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck with that, because that's gonna take all of his money.
Exactly.
Now,
that's
good luck. That's gonna take every dime he has.
That's why it was the 8 going into the hermit mode, as the young lady said. The deck I pulled out. Yeah. So let's see. Is Alex going to go to jail? Jail.
A lot of stuff is gonna get buried.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna pay off the people that were there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Skye. I get judgment.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of stuff. I think what's gonna come out is he's gonna be his own worst nightmare. He's gonna tell himself what they're gonna wind up charged. He's gonna get arrogant. Yeah, he's gonna get arrogant.
He's gonna try and get plucked out of this. I like this deck because this is the 8, the 6 of Swords.
Okay.
And in the 6 of Swords, it's a precarious balance in a boat, right? You pulled up the 6 of Swords. You're in a boat, and right. This in Rachel True's deck, it's almost like the boat sinks, right? So something bad has to happen.
And the birds are pulling up.
This is like the helicopter pulling you up out of the water, and so he could escape. Yeah, but he could escape the hardest hit.
Yeah,
he could escape that. Meaning, he may not have been the one to say literally to the union people, "Get out." He might have. That's how I think there's a cover up. There's some deception here, because he might have been in the room, but he never. Like the union people can't say Alec told us to leave. But I get the devil card. So between the devil and justice, which is, and daggers being thrown at him,
he's gonna get some sort of criminal.
Even though he gets plucked out of this, I think it's going to be a criminal case. I think it has to be.
Yeah. Look what I got. These cards are different action service. So this means,
I love that.
And it is a 5 card, 3 and 2. Change action service, meaning he's gonna get some sort of criminal. The question I asked was, is he gonna get any kind of criminal case at your service? Like, is he gonna do any time? The F word, bitch. Yes. Is he gonna do any time? He's gonna get any time. Like, no. F word, no. Like, fuck no. Like
right.
That's what I'm asking. Is he gonna do any time?
No. Okay.
Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. Tell me.
I do feel like he could be charged with the others. That's what I feel like. I think it's a group charge.
So it's funny. I'm asking, when you said it's on the group charge from scratch, they're gonna dig back. They're gonna pull that whole thing apart. Who said what? Who was in the room? These 2 cards go together, baby steps. And it's so funny. It's a 5 card again. Sorry.
They're both 5, so that's change.
So they're gonna. So what's this 5 and 6? That's 11. Yeah. So they're gonna ask them. So when they go in the interview to ask those questions like, who did what? Who was in the room? What did they say? What did who said? They're gonna get down to who said what, when,
Yeah.
where, and how. And it's gonna come down to him and what he suggested. He didn't say do. You know, everybody's worked with that person that I didn't tell you to do it. I might have mentioned it, but I didn't say do it.
Right.
That's how he's gonna play it.
Right.
I was in the room, I might have said that, but I didn't say do it.
And you know why, Skye? Because he has to work with the union people again.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So
He want to keep the money.
he couldn't have given the word, which is the
Yeah.
only thing that might have saved him. But I feel like he gets caught in there because he wants to producing credit. So depending upon what that contract looks like, however way that contract is written, if it's written that he gets producing credits after it's filmed, then it's different. But if it's written that he gets producing credits from jump, he gets pulled in with the whole lot. That means the finance company, the production company, and Alec are all,
In bed with each other. So when you said when you
yeah.
said, I'm asking the same question. Are they all in bed? Bring it all in.
Mm, mm.
While you're talking, says, are they all in? Bring it all in. They all in. They all in it. Yeah, he's gonna play the game. But now it comes down to his. Is the husband gonna get some money? They got kids. Yes, they're about to get paid.
That means the production company goes out of business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're gonna
Now,
get
I want to tell you the name of the production company, so just give me 1 second. This might be it. I read an article, but I don't know where I read it. No, I'm not doing a free trial. I think it was LA Times, and no, I'm not doing a free trial, people. It was LA Times. Let me get the, oh, I might have, oh, sugar bomb. I read it on my iPad, which is where I have the description.
music. Yeah, he's gonna get. I like these cards. I like this little let's got these. I like guys, I like
Those are
this.
nice. Those are nice final outcome cards too.
That's how I'm looking musing right along like it's gonna move. Just
Listen to this. According to a search warrant already filed, an assistant director unwittingly handed Baldwin a loaded weapon and told him it was safe to use. But they were having gun issues the whole time.
mm-hmm. They didn't have the right people. They didn't have the right
Right.
people. Look, I mean, two cards while we were talking. What's the next step? It says musing right along, and just say, look, I wrote down no.
Mm.
Just say no, meaning no. You know, they know.
Stop being
They,
a know-it-all.
they
Right.
knew they knew they didn't have the right people doing the right things. They knew they didn't have the right people working and doing the right things. Ooh, this light is giving
I'm
me.
trying to get the name of the production company. The LA Times article had it. They bring up Brandon Lee so everyone can, because when I did the reading, it was all about Brandon Lee and the Crow.
Oh, it's
Same
the same.
thing, because they've been
It's the same
improperly
company.
prepared. I don't know. They're just talking about the similarities.
Well, you know, with Coco here, guys, what's the next thing to fall? I'm just saying, some things have to change, and the movie industry really hasn't shifted much. They figured out how to make more money by going into the internet, but some things with them have to change as well. And
Yes.
it's always about how to save a buck.
Yes.
And what I talked about in the beginning was that in this ever-changing world, it's COVID. I'm pretty sure they weren't even following COVID protocol. Like, it's Uranus and Taurus, you know, all the planets have now gone direct. And although that can be a good thing, it's these planets going direct is going to give some people some trouble. And people just don't realize it. So I was telling everybody, whatever you're doing now, whatever you're doing, you're robbing, you're stealing, you're cheating, it's not like you're going to get caught cheating. That's not it. It's like you're going to get AIDS.
Yeah.
And you're going to pass it on. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's worse than you think.
Yeah.
Stop what you're doing.
You're going to be robbing and getting all this money, and then somebody's going to kill you because you got all the money.
There you go.
So you got it, but now you got to worry about who's after you now.
There you go. That's why when somebody was like, hey, Tracy, before you came on, can you check this rapper? And I'm like, no.
What rapper?
No. Oh, I forget the name. But I was like, no. I forget the name. Because, like, rappers don't learn their lesson.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's always about bitch, hoe, and money.
They just the people, excuse me, think of it this way. The rap people that you meet who still in the same places or how we all watching them, it's just like your neighbor. They don't know no better. They doing their own. There's somebody who got a lot of money who don't know how to manage money. There's somebody who came into a lot of money who never knew how to handle money. So of course if they had piss poor energy before they had the money, imagine them with money now.
Mm-hmm.
If they was talking smack then, they're gonna talk smack later. Because now they got money.
And the point being, now you have money. Now you got relatives wanting money. If you don't share the money with your crazy ass relative, somebody will come for you. And it'll be a relative. Right? I told you, if I won the lottery, my own son wouldn't know. Swear for God.
I've said that if I won the lottery, I'm going in made up. Yeah, but that's Skye. That don't look like her. I'm getting beat to the guards, lashes, coming in with blonde.
Wait. You know that theatrical makeup that they wear on TikTok?
Yes.
I would put on theatrical makeup too.
That's Skye.
And with my son, I would like buy him whatever he wants. I probably would send anonymous checks to his house. I probably would like set up a trust and let some crazy ass lawyer tell him, you know, some mysterious person has left you money. I wouldn't confess to it. And I wouldn't confess to it even on my deathbed. When I died, then he would be like, wait, mom had what? How many millions? What? And you know why? Because I don't want my son to love me because I have money. I want to measure you as you are. Yeah. And since we're not born into a silver spoon, oh, he's apt to love me. Forget about it. He's apt to love me. I don't want that. I want authentic. So I'm a child. You see me with a lot of money, I'm dressing normal. You never know.
You'll never know.
You'll never be able to say Tracy won the lottery. Never. And like you said, I did at the theatrical makeup we see on TikTok.
People like, that's not Tracy. Tracy,
no.
That's not her. This whole situation, somebody said Little Dud. We should be worrying about the girl who married her godfather. Girl, bye. You know what I'm trying to realize? Guys, don't take this the wrong way.
Oh, look what Tarika said. Tarika said just create a business and put the business so you don't have to show up.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking about I'm not even showing up. I'm gonna wait 1 year, hold the ticket, put it in.
I wouldn't wait a year. That's the one thing I wouldn't do. I wouldn't. I wouldn't, because it's too easy to actually lose that ticket. It would make me bananas.
Really? I'm scared you lost the ticket.
I mean, if I could open up a a safe deposit box, that would be one thing. But
Yeah.
it turns out there's no such thing here on the island. Nobody has a safe deposit box. The banks don't have it.
Wow. They don't?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, she was. I was reading
I
something
guess
about somebody
I guess they
married.
figure everybody's too poor here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know about that, Miss Mahogany. Miss Mahogany says, I'm going to dress up in disguise like the Jamaican man did after he won the lottery. I would do that too, but I don't know this man. You got to send me a link on that.
What? He just a. Hold on.
Is there a show called Undercover Millionaire, Sylvester?
Yeah, it is.
That's how I got to look that up now. I got to see some episodes. Oh, no, Barbara. No. Barbara says, money doesn't change you. It just enhances what's already there. No. Money changes you. Mm-mm. I think if you worked for the money, then you have a better chance of enhancing yourself. But I don't believe that. Look at Jeff Bezos,
Yeah.
right? He's changed drastically that his wife was like, I'm out of here.
And she helped build that business.
Yes, she did.
She was like, I was the brain actually. She was like, I'm actually the brain behind this.
He had to give her half.
She helped him build it.
Hmm.
She was the brains. Quiet as cat. Y'all know she was the brains. We all know.
It looks like it. Now that we see him, he struggled for like 14 years with that company.
And she struggled right along with him. That's why he had to give her half. She was right along with him. Oh.
All right, Skye. I pulled the final outcome, but now I don't know. Oh, I pulled the final outcome and I showed it to IG, so I have to keep it. And it's athlete. Right side up.
Oh.
So, you know, when it shows up, I can't like stop it. So let's see what it says. Why am I AF? Athlete. Oh, child.
Is it athlete?
Athlete.
Oh, okay.
Is it athlete? I think it's athlete.
It's athlete.
Ultimate expression of strength of spirit,
Mm-hmm.
represented by the power of the body, has strong code of ethics and morality.
Mm-hmm.
Professional skill level less important than willpower and strength of spirit. Shadow athlete manifests as misuse of strength, false sense of invulnerability, dirty play, lack of honor that compels one to cheat. Look for a lifetime dedication to excellence in strength and spirit. So, as I was reading this, I feel like athletes belong to the union people.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that wanted to play a fair game.
Mm-hmm.
And had strong code of ethics and morality, had professional skill level, but lost the willpower and strength against the fight.
They were fighting an uphill battle. And a lot of unions are like that. They want to do what's right for the people that's working for them, but then they have to kind of compromise on some level because where they're working at. So it's like a tug and pull. You know,
I'm wondering, now that I pulled athlete because I couldn't understand it, I'm wondering if they're going to point fingers at each other. I'm wondering, right?
Remember I said when we got the card, it was like baby steps and from the very beginning, they're going to make them, everybody, who was in the room, who said what did you say? What did you say? What did you fight against?
I think I'm talking about the union, right? Yes. Because if I know if I know the business, union supersedes. And I'm wondering if they were supposed to walk off set. I mean, they can walk off. Were they supposed to go home? Union supersedes everything. Because at some point, the production said, get out or else I'll call the cops. But I'm wondering if union supersedes. So I think they're going to be pointing fingers based upon this card. Like, no, I didn't kill her. You killed her. And it's like, no, you weren't supposed to walk off set. You know, as a union leader, when you called the strike, right? Everything was supposed to shut down. What happens when there's a bus strike?
Everything shuts down.
Everything has to shut down. But what happens when they call in
scabs?
Inadequate drivers to drive the bus.
Accidents. You have accidents. Things happen.
There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. And so I think they're going to be pointing fingers at each other.
Yeah, I'm hitting work in the light. Let me see what these stuff.
This is going to go on for a couple of years.
It's going to be ugly.
It's ugly.
I'm going to do this one as my final icon.
Go for it.
Let me see what comes up. Why supposed to look at the bottom? I'm shuffling the cards and look at the bottom of the card. Final outcome.
Ooh.
Crumbling.
Are you going to make that your final?
Yes, Spirit said, look at the bottom of the deck. I was shuffling the whole time we were talking. It says, look at the bottom of the deck, crumbling. But you know what? If you look at this, guys, the house is all messed up, but inside the middle.
Yeah. That's what I was noticing. I didn't even notice. I was noticing the flowers and the new beginnings in the tower.
Mm-hmm. And the bottom it says, what are you crumbling? What are you clinging on to? Yeah, the status quo. You have to change some things. What I'm getting from this is that all this ugliness with the union, it has to change. Like we were just saying, all the stuff is going to change. The union, the production, for better, because it's been messed up for a long time. Even when you talk about the Crow, some things are going to change now within the industry to make it better. So it has to be this ugly house, because look at all the windows. It's lightning, and look at the windows, guys. If you look at the car.
Okay, so when the Crow happened, right, the industry was knee deep in corruption. So whatever happened there, it got swept under the rug. In this Uranus and Taurus era, where powerful men are a big problem, there has to be rigid, sweeping changes so that the next time union says no, union says no.
Yep.
And that's going to be a wrap. So, and nobody's ever going to want this to happen to them. So it's really going to be much more stricter. At this stage in the game, I would never work on a set that had a gun.
And this is what it says in the book, where he says, the crumbling, what are you clinging onto? There's a shift happening right now where everything inauthentic can no longer survive, what you just said. Relationships, jobs, social structures, anything built on shaky ground is destined to tumble down. It's happening to bring you back home to who you truly are, both individually and in society as a whole. So you can live a life that is in alignment with who you truly are. When you're in the thick of it, it feels like a personal attack from the universe. Hey, have faith, because the difficult times will be your defining moments. You will be reborn in the fire. But exactly what you said. That is meant for that to fall apart and be reborn.
Now listen, when we talk. No, go ahead.
It says you're being born to surrender. Stop trying to hold it all together. Loosen your grip. to let the crumbling occur. It may be difficult at first, but in the end, the sooner you let go, the sooner the rebirthing will occur. What are you trying to hold together? What are you doing best? You have to allow it to happen. Exactly what you just said. We looked at the card. It has to fall
Now,
apart.
when COVID hit, we had famous actors complaining to Disney,
Mhm.
you know, how dare you take my good work, Gwyneth Paltrow,
Mhm.
and put it on streaming? How dare you? That was safe for Disney. That was a smart decision for Disney. Also, Disney has pushed back most of its Marvel releases
Mhm.
because they're playing it safe, as
Hey.
they should,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
The industry has been corrupt.
Yep.
Julie Garland, you know, uh, Shirley Temple, you know, um, Coogan, the little Coogan guy, that he's the reason why 10% of children's salary has to, the industry has been corrupt. I'm not even talking about people of color.
Guys,
Like, how dare you have a character that's Native American and you can't find a Native American actor?
hmm.
Or like, it's been corrupt for years, 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 years. It ends today,
Yeah.
today. And Uranus and Taurus, done, finite, over. It
Mhm.
should never be about money. It should be about quality and effectiveness and not greed, 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 or making some short movie to get a big payout.
Yeah.
Alec,
Yeah. To get a payout.
on the heels of Donald Trump. How is that supposed to work, really?
When he was no better, same personality,
I love when you said that.
same personality. So now he's in his whole thing. I'm trying to look at these cards. I put all these little cards. I'm gonna start using these. Divine Energy Oracle. It's like a question.
Nice.
It's like a question and answer thing.
The
That's
film
nice.
industry needs to hit rock bottom to have the best chances in the future.
Yep.
Thank you, Stephanie. I totally, totally agree. All right, guys,
Yes.
I am done. And no, it's going to come down. By the way, guys, these changes are going to be universal. They're not going to be state to state.
Yeah.
Trust and believe. Virginia can't be no different than California, especially with gun laws. And now, I know in New York, they had to open up Coogan accounts over there. So, Atlanta, if y'all don't have Coogan accounts right now, Atlanta's going to have Coogan accounts. This is a full on nightmare for the industry.
Mhm.
Over. Every production company, and by the way, there are limited production companies. So imagine what Tyler Perry's going through right now in Atlanta because he owns Atlanta, right? Imagine what Sony's going through. What
Mhm.
other production? Paramount?
Yeah.
What else?
Mhm.
There's only three big ones. There's only three.
Mhm.
So this changes every,
Yeah.
and it's the error, guys. It's the error. It's the thing when I listen. Some of these things you can't see, right? When I first did my, check it out, Uranus and Taurus video. I think I might have did two of them. Check it out. Maybe I didn't see COVID coming, but
Something was coming.
something was coming because if you understand Uranus and Taurus, right? Taurus says, don't change, and go slow, slow down.
Mhm.
And Uranus goes, fuck that, fuck that, fuck that, get
Mhm.
out of here. So the two don't get along,
Yeah.
right? So wherever Uranus needs to kick ass, it's just kicking ass. And it ain't done. What did we hear? 2026?
What?
I think it's not over till 2026. I don't know. I forget. It makes me nervous. I
But you
think
know
it's
what?
26.
This how I see it. Even when Mercury Richard came around, I think if everybody starts thinking along the lines of be true to yourself, what is requiring you to do right now is walk with spirit, walk in that knowing, walk with your intuition, walk with that, not so much you saying do the right thing, but more or less,
just don't do bad things.
Right. Be aware, like, you know what, is it really worth me doing this? Is it,
yes.
I'm not even going to do it. I'm not even going to walk down that road. If you know that person triggers you, you're like, you know what, let me take 2 steps back and not let them, because I don't want them to trigger me. Because I already know.
Wait, let me go on leave. Let me go on leave. Because I've already, I vision taking a book to somebody's head, throwing pie in their face. Let me just go on leave. Yeah.
And I think I think everybody that Me Too hijacked it is what the Me Too movement was hijacking is about that one. Let me give
it was the beginning of Uranus, but go ahead.
Right. And even with the Me Too movement, this is an unpopular opinion, maybe, but even then, it really didn't do what it was supposed to do. It didn't give what it was supposed to give. It didn't attack things the way it was supposed to. Them wearing black dresses to award shows should have been more about, let's pull the covers off of this BS. Let's call it what it is. Call a spade a spade. Let's put it out there, because now you have women, like when that came out, that means every woman at that time was covered. You should have came out the closet like, look, he did A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, not just wearing the dresses. And I felt, and that's been my own opinion, guys, everybody else, ride with me. I just feel at that time they made it so comfortable for people who are attacking women. It was like a nice way of saying, he did this to me and I want to be acknowledged. No.
And I'm going to look pretty.
Right.
What I think Uranus and Taurus is doing, however, and you're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. If you notice, remember we're talking about Taurus. Mm-hmm. So Taurus might start out with the black dresses.
Right.
Uranus is ending up in R. Kelly.
Yes.
So, but you're right. And there's more. This isn't over because Weinstein has to come back to New York and Kelly has to go back to Chicago. And then Kelly is going to rat on the music industry. They didn't even touch the music industry yet.
He about to sing. Girl, because I'm here. I'm rocking like an old lady and rocking chickens when the dirt hit the family.
No, it feels like the color purple.
Yes,
like the color purple. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Like what's about to come? Clutch them pearls. Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
And everybody, he better, and the FBI is keeping him alive.
They have to.
They keep him alive, one, because he has so much information.
He does.
He was truly the Pied Piper. Like his song. He was truly
I called him a siren. Yes.
He's truly Pied Piper.
Same thing. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. Okay, so what's happening with I think the question is, it all began with the Me Too. Mm-hmm. And the answer to that question is, you're fucking right.
Yeah.
You're fucking right. Mm-hmm. We did not get a female vice president, but let's not talk about her right now. Mm-hmm. Because if we talk about her, we have to talk about the Haitians. And I'm not talking about the Haitians because I'll just get mad, right? Mm-hmm. We would not have a female vice president had it not been for some, structural
changes.
Like really the walls. It's not crumbling. It's not crumbling.
Mm-hmm. But it's cracked.
But you can't put it back to Humpty.
Yeah, it's cracked. Mm-hmm. It's
Humpty. It can't.
So you're right, Skye, when you say the black dresses. I remember that, and I remember thinking, well, that's just silly, right? But if you've watched it, Uranus still is not letting Taurus get away with this shit.
And it's so funny that you say, because I see somebody said it here. Initially, those were women of color with the Me Too movement, and somehow it shifted to a more, because it seems like when women of color come through, they come through. They're gonna tell you about your mother, your father, your cousins.
Yes.
Like with your work, everything you do, everything you touch, it will not be right. And I think somehow then those women came in and softened it. They softened it up. You understand what I'm saying?
Good point.
They softened
That's
it.
a good point, because Me Too was literally founded by a black woman.
Yep. So they came out like we guns a blazing. Who won it? It's not giving me what it's supposed to give. They came out like we about to do this, and then all of a sudden it just.
But you know who I blame for that? What's that actress name? She just wound up in trouble today too.
With the blonde hair.
Not the blonde, the dark-haired one. She was on that puppy family show. What's her name? Guys, help me. The one that took over the Me Too movement and kept having to tell people, I'm not in charge of the Me Too movement, but you wouldn't shut up.
Yeah.
You gave the black woman credit, but you didn't have her standing next to you every single time, because that's what you should have been doing. We should have been hearing her voice.
Yep.
So you're right. They did take it over. They did soften it. And that might be, again, that might be Taurus. Have you ever dealt with the Taurus?
Yes.
Alyssa Milano.
Yes.
Voice became a part of the Me Too movement. But to be honest with you, if you notice, Rose McGinn, okay, two things. If you notice with Alyssa Milano, her voice is not strong enough. And that's a good point, Skye. I think she softened the movement.
Yeah, they softened it up. I was like, at first, you was like, "Oh, it's about to get ugly," because I feel that a lot of times, even when you do feminism, when you get women of color, be it Chinese, Asian, Indians, black women, when they get together culturally, these are strong women. Russian women, you know, they're very.
I love me a Russian woman. I love me a Russian. Russians don't play
at all.
Oh my God, they don't play.
They don't play. They're about their money. They're about their money and their business. If he ain't paying, they're not playing.
And they tell you exactly how to work it.
I have a Russian friend. She said she will always say you always have a nice. This is a joke, late. That's not a joke, but she always say you always carry a nice bag. I was like, she said you buy one good expensive bag, and put flowers in it. So anybody who wants to talk to you, understand there's a standard to you already. I was like, what? And you make sense. Like if you carry like a nice bag and you have flowers, anybody who wants to talk to you, you shop, they understand that you come with a certain expectation that you're already doing for yourself. I was like, if that is not a jewel, ladies.
Yes.
You guys have a nice
one of my Russian friends' boyfriend kept tracking her on her phone. And we were riding together, and she goes, I'm just going to turn it off. And I was like, what? She goes, he can't track me if the phone's not on. This was back in the day. Like, they figure shit things out early. This was back early. And I was like, holy shit. She's amazing. I love Russian women.
So I say, when they bring together, it seems like culturally they'll bring more American who are very status quo women. It's about the money. You know, I don't love him, but
Alyssa Milano.
Right, you taking care of me. I'm not going to be too. But when you get a certain type of women who are about taking care of themselves and they're not here to play. They're not here for the shits and giggles. What are we doing here?
Right.
So when you think about the feminist movement, because I feel I'm a feminist, but at the same time, when they try to discount those ethnic women and they don't want them in the fight because that fight is going to turn into a much more serious fight.
It'll be a real fight.
It's a real fight.
Also,
like let's cut you off, but I never felt I want to walk around, excuse my French, with pussy lips on my head. How is that promoting women sticking together? Remember the pussy hats? I'm not wearing that.
Oh, yeah.
Who was a cow foot or a moose knuckle on their head? I'm not walking around with that on my. That does not say feminism to me.
Yeah.
For me, it doesn't say feminism. If you own the hat, to each his own. But to me, it's about getting.
I wore a pink hat.
Yes, a pink hat, but not the.
Yeah, I wore a pink hat. Yeah. But wait a second, Skye. I just also wanted to point out that when I'm talking about Taurus, I'm not talking about you, the individual, right? Mm-hmm. We're talking about the core aspects of a Taurus sign, right? So that's not you, because you have the Taurus sign, you have a moon, you have a rising, you have Mars, you have Venus. You know, your chart is big. It's a big chart, right? So I'm talking about Taurus that is general. Taurus don't like to rock boats. They like peace. They like to have beautiful homes. They are about their money. And however way they get their money, that could be legal or illegal, leave me and my money alone. Mm-hmm. So Uranus as a planet is kick-ass. Mm-hmm. Uranus is disrupting Tauruses, particularly Tauruses, and then particularly fixed signs, right? So Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarians are participating in this, but not to the, you guys get the tower, we don't. Mm-hmm. Right?
We sit in the quiet. We quiet. I'm not for me right now. I'm out of this. I'm mindful of what I say to people. I can't be.
Yes.
I'm like, usually I'm like, no, I'm like, you know what? Let's try it. Maybe it may work. At least that's being in this spiritual road. I'm like, maybe that may work. I don't know. Because Uranus is not playing no games.
And that's a good point. When you're in the spiritual world, we know, we're like, okay, Uranus, we're going to respect you, right? Mm-hmm. So just talking about, like, am I talking about you as an individual? No, I'm not. When I talk about Taurus and Uranus, it's global, right? Mm-hmm. That's why we're having so many issues. Yeah. Now, just think about it. Just think about it. Colin Kaepernick took a knee and lost his job for his rights because blacks were getting killed, right? Unnecessarily, right? And that was what he felt, his rights. Now we have people that don't want to wear a mask for their rights, right? So that's okay, but Colin taking a knee wasn't. This is where Uranus comes in. So Uranus goes, oh, hell no. Now COVID never ends until you all get it, right? Yep. And then the other thing with the vaccines, right? It's my right not to take the vaccine. And so what's happening globally, right? Or I don't, maybe in America, I don't know about globally, but what are the jobs saying? Well, you can't have an operation until you can't keep your nursing job unless, so that's all Uranus and Taurus, right? Because nursing has always had their way. Uranus says there's corruption in there. Teachers are the same way. Same teachers for 20,000 years, racist teachers.
Now that COVID is coming
from
through.
Back in, now COVID is saying,
hey, racist teachers, you created this racism in America. You did. You're 75 now and you won't give up your seat. And damn if you give it up to someone ethnic. So then COVID says, hey, everybody, get vaccinated. And the left is like, we're not getting vaccinated. Okay, that means you give up seats. Bye. So that's what I mean with Uranus and Taurus. It's global. You know, I just read that Nike and all the sneaker companies are losing money daily.
Yep.
How much money did Nike make on $350 sneakers? Bump that.
And people are buying sneakers from them no more. Well, it's a lot to do with, I know I'm more aware of where clothes come from, and you know, so a lot of people more aware.
COVID's like alcohol, it brings out the real person.
Yeah. You know, it's a problem, I think, and here's my thought. When you hear people, and I don't have an opinion about if you get the shot, you get it. If you don't, you don't. That's you and your choice only. My question is, it's funny when you hear people say, oh, it's a police state, they're not telling us. But when you go to the doctor and you step on a nail and they say, oh, you got to get the tetanus shot. You got to get this shot. No one goes, I don't want the tetanus shot. I don't know what's in it. Don't shoot me up with that. You don't take you take the tetanus shot. You don't know what it is. When there's shingles, people right now run, oh, they're getting the shingles. So I'm very much in, I think all shots are questionable. All of them. But it's your choice to make a decision. It is my right if I own a business and I have a building within it and I say I want everybody to be vaccinated, it is my right. It is their right if they have a business to say, I want you to be vaccinated because I want to, that's their right. I think a lot of people go through this whole process now because it's less about us versus them. It's less about against the Asians, against the blacks. Now it looks like the real problem is starting to float to the top. It's never really been the other people. It's always been because they've never been put in a position to have to make a choice to eat. They've never had to make a choice to make livelihood for their families. Where a lot of these people have had to make choices for their families to eat and do whatever. So when they had to work, I don't know, I had to send my kid to this public school. I'm working 20 hours a week. 20 hours within the day. I'm working 2 jobs to maintain it for my kid. So public school should be great for my kid when it's not. And those people work for business people who are paying them pennies. You know, so it changes a lot. I don't think nobody's being honest. So now you're at a point where now it has flipped. Now it's asking you, well, you have to make a decision. Either you want your job or get the shot. And not to say that it's right. It just puts in a position to realize, wow, we've done this to generations of people. We've made them make choices. Food for your kids or rent. Medical or this. So now it's like people are now to say it. Now they're like enraged, which is like you're not realizing these are decisions that a lot of people have had to make all the time prior to COVID.
Except for a whole group
of people.
And now they're understanding what it feels like when someone doesn't give you options. And they're screaming and yelling.
And even when you hear a lot of people who say, well, I'm going to live off the grid, let's start here. And I'm all for, I'm not saying political, but I went to West Virginia before. I've seen there are people there who don't have running water, who are white. I think the biggest lie is always been told about racism. And when politics says, oh, it's us against them. When you go to West Virginia and certain parts of the United States, there are places where there are people who don't have running water, who have dirt floors. So when people say, I'm going to go off grid because you have the money and the expense to do that. But what about those people that live up in the mountains who don't have that money, who don't have it to do that? And they were like,
wait a second.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a second. So, talking about living off the grid. In California, everybody went to, oh, I forget, I think it's in Arizona, to this place, like, oh, where's that mystical place in Arizona? Well,
Sedona.
everybody, Sedona. So
Sedona.
everybody moved there,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And the surrounding,
Area.
community.
Mm-hmm.
And, because they had the money,
Right.
right, Skye?
Mm-hmm.
So they went and brought $1 million homes. And by the way, this was a very cheap area in
Mm-hmm.
comparison to Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
So the real estate goes up. They buy $1 million homes. Now they've been there for over a year and a half, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they're in 118-degree weather, constant, constant. So what were you escaping? What
That's
what what, what was it?
that's living off the grid. That's living off the land. And you have to access. And when I was in Arizona, I went to, what is that, Flagstaff, and you realize that Indians know how to survive. Have you been to a reservation? You're like, this is it. There's nothing. It's a different mindset. So when you hear people make these comments, I'm like, when you live off the grid, it's real, real out here in these streets. It's real, real. It's not
And
you.
to have a farm, but listen, but there's a good part to living off the grid, Sky, because
Yeah,
we're about to come into some food shortages. If somebody's living on a farm, at least they know how to survive.
you know.
I'm just saying there's the upside.
I'm saying both sides. I think I'm saying when I just hear people make that big, I think it's me personally. I think I like to live off the grid. I'm prepared. Ancestrally, you're like, all right, well, I know how to grow some basic necessities, and even now in the house, you're like, oh, I could grow some basic things from water, and still survive.
Hmm.
But there are a lot of people that live in the city who don't know how to grow things in their house to survive. You understand? So again, it is a give and take. I don't think.
Look, and Margin's right. She goes, Sedona's not as hot as Phoenix. Ooh,
Mhm,
child.
mhm.
But they had a flood this year. So you see all the shit that's happening because COVID's not letting you escape.
Yeah, yeah.
Y'all can't escape none of this. It's crazy what's like it is what it is. All right.
Mhm,
Let's wrap this up. Thank you, Sky.
mhm.
Any last words of
No, I think the whole thing with Alec, and I like how these conversations kind of morph into different things.
yeah,
It's a life
always.
experiences. I think these are all great conversations. I think the best thing everybody can do is, I don't have to agree with you, but I can hear your point of view, and maybe I may take a gem from it. You understand? Let me hear what you're saying. I think the best way we can all service each other, to be of service, is to listen.
Yeah.
You know,
And I
listen.
think in the end, just talking about one person living off the grid, just
Exactly.
one person
Mhm.
is 23-acre farm. She grew up there. It's been in the family for generations. So, I like growing my own vegetables. Like that's different,
Yeah.
you know. But
Hmm.
anybody else, it's like Green Acres. Like I feel like I'm in Green Acres right now. The shit that goes on in in the Caribbean, I'm like, beam me up, Scotty, because
Mhm.
it's hard. It's hard when you're in a whole new environment that you've never been in. Like I know West Indian people in city environment, not
Right.
West Indian people in their natural environment.
Girl. It's like when I think I have a friend who has their family has, we always, it's not a joke. It's like a family. My friend did. So she lives down in the south. Her family has land down in South Carolina. And we always make jokes, well, how'd y'all get land? It was like, how we got the land. Always I'm like, yeah, you like, even when you go down there and you realize how, when I hear people say, we have land, not to discount what they're saying, it's like, but that's nice. It's awesome that your family has that much land and you guys are able to do that. But imagine all the people who should have been gotten their mule in 40 acres who never got that opportunity. So they don't have those, So that's what always comes to me. And it's been in for generation. I mean, that's great, but that's generational wealth that your family is able to expound on, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. But you also have to think outside of your own box to say, how do I impact someone else?
Contribute
How do I
others.
contribute? Yes, I
Yes.
said this, but now how do I contribute? Because it's been in my family for generations. Do I provide food for a community? Do I grow enough food so hey, I can give away to the poor people who don't have anything?
Well, that's going to be next level
Yeah,
from Uranus. The food
yeah,
industry is a whole nother,
animal.
and it's a whole nother animal, and that's going to be continuous. So we're gonna do a reading on that, and I'm hoping that uh Marie, I was gonna ask her today. I just got so busy that I forgot, but I'm gonna put it. Oh, look, 12:22. I just love numbers.
Oh, okay.
Because it equals 7.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, the food. Oh my God, I was trying not to do that, and it came out anyway. The food. Oh, child, we're gonna discuss that a whole nother. Child, Uranus and Taurus, and hey, you know how much Taurus loves food.
And they eat.
Child. So what kind of challenges do you think is gonna get out there? They love food, and they luxuriate in food. Like my daughter-in-law told me, because my niece is a Taurus,
Mm-hmm.
and she's a triple Taurus, and my daughter-in-law told me that when my niece eats, she savors it. She closes her eyes and she feels the food. Child, if that ain't Taurus.
Girl.
So it's going to be interesting to see what Uranus does with food.
Mm-hmm. But it's another thing that I think more people should be thinking about is when you buying food, are you using all of it? Like I'm not a
That's Uranus, but
yeah,
that's Uranus.
Mm-hmm.
You think Uranus isn't noticing the
Wasteful.
wastefulness?
Yeah, don't be wasteful.
Oh, child.
But
All right, sweetie. Let's get out of here because we can go on a whole nother topic.
About food,
we can
right?
stay here for 2 more hours talking about food. Shoot, I'm hungry right now. Oh, by the way, I had goat stew today.
Oh, was it good?
Yeah. Caribbean's cook.
Yeah, what it is too. Goat stew is something that you have to let cook long. I find goat meat is something you gotta like tough beef. You gotta let it cook longer to get soft.
Oh,
for me to enjoy it, I'm like, it's a little tough. It's okay. Goat meat for me, I'm like, it has to cook all day for me to get that nice. All right, now I like it, and I can suck the bone and the marrow comes out.
Yes,
of it. It's good, but I'm like,
yeah.
Take a little longer because it's a little.
I mean, I thought it was good. It was seasoned like oxtail.
Yes.
So it didn't really change,
Mm-hmm.
but it was goat meat. I liked it.
Yeah, I personally like goat meat. Like I like venison. Like it's not like chicken and beef where you have to let it cook longer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like buffalo. If anybody said I was like, what is it called? Buffalo? The burgers.
Oh, wait. Sylvester. Lamb? I got lamb.
Yes.
I grew up on lamb.
Lamb.
Lamb?
Now wait, y'all gonna laugh. I had a problem at one time eating lamb. Anybody ever watch Lamb Chop?
Yes.
Lamb.
She tried to kill the lamb industry.
And after that, the lamb.
That damn knitted that knitted character. Oh, hell no.
They showed on Channel 13 here in New York. I'm like, oh, that's lamb chop.
Aoife Shea said she'll cook lamb chop for hours, 2 hours.
Yeah, goat meat. Yeah, she could goat meat. Yeah, goat meat takes a while to get tender.
Yeah,
I like eating goat meat. Girl. I would eat that.
And I've tried bison, but I haven't brought bison. But I've tried bison in a restaurant.
How'd you like it? It's a little. I find that bison is a little drier than beef, so you can't cook it like you cook beef. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because beef is like, oh, you do what? Like bison is much leaner. So it's like it doesn't have
Yeah.
fat. So you have to add fat to it, some sort of oil or something to give it a little. But that's what it is because it gets dry. So it's like
Yeah.
I think I have bought bison before and I made what's it called? Meatloaf. I was like, this is dry. So I was
Oh
like,
no. I ate it as a hamburger in a restaurant. So I
it's
don't
dry.
think I noticed the difference. I don't
Oh,
think I noticed the difference. But you know, in certain restaurants, they'll dress a hamburger up where you don't even,
yeah, you don't even
you
know.
know, yeah.
You don't even know. So yeah,
Bison is lean meat, they're saying. Yeah.
bison is lean. And it's
All
what
right.
think about it.
No.
It ran this country, and then we killed it in over less than 5 years. Every one of them. We're not gonna get into that. To bring in the cow.
We're not going to get into that.
They're trying to bring it back.
Uranus and Taurus.
Right.
Don't worry. It'll come back. All this shit is going to get addressed.
Mm-hmm.
Too funny. All right. Get going, sweetie.
Good night,
And
everybody.
thank you for your input.
Yeah, right. It was
Thank
fun.
you for your input, Skye. Oh, how can people reach you?
Oh, beautiful conundrum. Let me put it up. Did I put it up?
On IG.
On Instagram.
Oh, wait, no. Hold on. Stay there.
Oh.
There you go.
You can find me on Instagram.
On IG.
On Instagram. And I'm on YouTube. I just haven't started yet. Maybe I'll take you all over to my page and do a live now. No.
Girl.
Sweet.
Listen, it's Friday. You'll have people that is up. Good night, Ifashe. You have people that'll follow you.
Good night.
So you said that the last time. I think you get hyped with the readings. You get hyped.
And then I'm like, I'm going, but I'm like, yeah, I'm going to bed. I'm like that
Listen,
club person. You invite me out to the club. I'm like, yeah, I'm going. I'm ready. I'm like, come on, girl.
Two dances in. I'm sitting down. I'm like,
I'm ready to go home already. Like, why did I even say I was going to come here? Well, I'm that friend you invite out, and you call me, go, you know what, girl? I'm thinking I'm not going. I'm already laying in the bed. Like, girl, I was dressed and ready. You're not going before knowing damn well I already took my clothes off and got comfortable.
Listen,
I'm that friend.
One good song where I'm bumping and moving everything and I'm mature. One good song, I can't. So I'm already in agreement. In my age bracket, I'm in agreement. I'm not waiting. Like when I get ready to go, I'm leaving. I'm grown. We're not having girl code.
You've been up for 2:22. All right, let's end it now. It's at 2:22. You've been over 2 hours and 22 seconds. You turn it up now. Oh, now we're at 2:23. Your live was on for 2 hours and 22 seconds. 22 minutes.
Got it. I got you. I hear you. Oh, 200 people. Listen, 200 people. Call me for your own personal reading at Tracy or at 213-458-7408 and look at the banner. It's been throughout the whole thing, 213-458-7408 for your own personal reading. Listen, I love the comments, all right? And try not to be too mad at me. I'm the only voice of reason. There are cultural issues going on, and I'm the only one talking about it. So try not to be too mad at me. I mean, listen, I love white folks. I really, really do. I think there are issues, and I want y'all to give me the freedom to talk about the issues because I'm not asking. I'm telling you, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. I think it's just, you have to.
But I love you anyway.
Yeah. You know, it's so funny because you said that. Conversation came up about the new Negroes, about slavery and the whole teaching in schools and how it's not a good thing. And then I thought, I said, but we learn about that. If you learn about slavery, then we should also learn about how they contributed and how bad it. Like, be honest. And I think the hard part that people are having is being honest. And I understand in a
Being
war,
honest on
it's
how
just
we got there. Because slavery, is it you that said slavery is not about the slave? Slavery is about the owners and the
right,
shippers. And
right.
that story needs to be told. And it's hurtful. I get it.
To
But
be
if the
told,
Holocaust survivors get to talk about Germany,
and how they were treated.
then you all are going to get clumped in to clean up our history, right? Right? We're not afraid to talk about it anymore. We are going to talk about it. And I understand it hurts. I got you. Stay with it. Because part of Uranus and Taurus is all that shift has to happen. Like, you can't stay the same anymore.
I'm gonna give it
Shift
another
has
way.
to happen.
The same way, again, this unpopular opinion, the same way that people will say that black people have generational things from slavery, that there are things to
Mm-hmm.
react to because of slavery. You don't think white people are not dealing with generational stuff from slavery when they look
Yes.
somebody in the when they can look at somebody of color and feel like they're beneath them? That's not and not understand why they feel that way, and they don't want to feel that way. There's some they be like, I don't know why I feel like this, but it's generational. It's something that's in your DNA. The same way, you know, it's
Right.
something that's and I think sometimes
Oh, my
we
favorite part, Skye, is when someone says, I have a black friend, I have a black boyfriend. And no, putting a black penis in you doesn't make you understand the whole culture and the history.
but again,
Having one black friend makes you racist.
but here's the
Because
catch
I
with
don't
that.
have one white friend. I don't have one white friend. I've got a multiple of different multicultural white friends.
Yes. And that exactly is what Uranus and Taurus
It's
right now is
fixing.
all about. Is all
And
about
it's ugly.
yeah.
But again, if the Holocaust survivors get to take down Germany over and over and over, and Germany apologized, and Germany has been fixing what happened to them. The streets are covered with Holocaust names. Like, Germany has taken responsibility, and we still take them down. It's our time to speak, and no one can stop me. Like, oh, Tracy, you're racist. Okay, I know it hurts. Okay, moving on.
Right. Or she said somebody just says Celeste Jackson, I hate when the expression I don't see color. That's a dead giveaway they racist because everybody is color has color.
Oh, when
That's a
you
dead
say
giveaway.
you don't, Garcelle said it best. When you say I don't see color, then you don't see me, because I am color. So when you say you don't see color, you're ignoring me.
Mm.
And Garcelle from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills said it best.
Yeah.
That's why that phrasing needs to stop.
Yeah, I was like, oh, like, how do you
Because
know?
that makes it comfortable for you. It makes me conceive. Oh, you don't see color? Oh, thank God. No. Somebody noticed my color. I walked in chocolate. I walked in light skin. Notice my color. Period.
They walked in Asian.
I'm okay with that. They walked in, thank you. They walked in Asian.
They-
Notice me.
And that means there's going to be a culture. This is something I think that people pay attention. There's a cultural difference. And I said this to somebody, and they kind of looked at me. I was like, black folks have a tendency. You could be anywhere, and we all do this to each other. Oh, we all give the head nod. Hey, I see you. I see you. Hey, it's a cultural. No matter what culture, African, any culture is like a cultural thing, where I find that unmelanated people, they have to talk to you. They have to know you. Like, they feel like, let's say you go to somebody's party. They want to know, well, how do you know this person? Black folks, we like a party. Oh, I know her from a friend of a friend. She give good parties. You show up with some food, you have a good time. When you for them, they have to. How do you know Karen? Oh, if your husband was like, please. So there's definitely small things culture that we do differently.
Cultural differences.
That are, just like when you
Interesting.
look at Asian people, there's certain things that's cultural differences. Different things. You have to learn different people. Like people will say, you know her? Oh no, I just said hi. That's just how we. I was in Arizona. You don't see too many black people. You like, hey girl, hey sis.
Let me tell you something. I lived in Koreatown, right?
Okay.
And I must have been there 3-4 years when I saw a black woman in the street. And I was like, she was across the street. And I was like, wait, right there. Wait, right there. Child, we met up in the middle of the street when the light turned. And I was like, sister. And we cracked up laughing because we understood that. Also, just to point out another thing, I'm really pissed at Real Housewives of New York because they are trying to take Ebony Williams down. That is some racist bullshit. And I'm so sick of it. And Ebony shouldn't have to go at it alone. And even Leah, who brought Ebony in, has now turned on her. And it's so easy for white folks to turn on someone black when we say, you're doing it all wrong. Let's have conversations about color until you get it. They're so uncomfortable with Ebony talking about colorism, the difference between black and white. And this is an educated lawyer. And they can't handle it. And she's speaking in a way to get them to hear her well. She is being kind to them. And they're turning on her.
Well,
she's not going to get fired, guys. She's going to stay.
I'm going to say it again. If black people, they say a generation is in our DNA, a lot of them still have, I think y'all not ready to hear this, but a lot of these slave owners are white women, right? We always point out black and white men, but a lot of these slave owners also were white women. So with that being said, it's hard for them sometimes to have to deal. I can talk about my own boss. I remember looking at her in her
subservient. With being subservient.
I used to look her dead in her eye when she was talking, and you could see it made her uncomfortable. Yeah. I suggest you try it. And if you're a white woman, if it makes you uncomfortable, somebody looks you dead in your eyes and tells you no, it is a generation, that deep down seated situation here. Yeah. And I think that's a sad thing when they don't acknowledge that. And it would help them to understand, like, why do I feel this way? Instead of just sweeping it under the rug, you have to address it. Yes.
Yeah.
Syndrome. Yes. They don't realize
PTSS. Yes. And I think what Skye is saying is that PTSS goes both ways.
Yes.
That white folks don't realize that they too are suffering from some higher authority of PTSS, and it ends today. And just to bring us back to Brian Laundrie, right? If you could just understand from the Brian Laundrie case how you all think you're privileged.
Girl, Bob, how the heck? Look,
okay.
How you drive a van back to the house
after murder
and nobody
from Wyoming?
Girl, this no
privilege. Privilege is ridiculous. It needs to stop today.
Yeah, I think that's just
period.
Yeah, and I think if you have white friends, I think that's the best way to explain it. So,
but
I think
go
ahead.
I just want to say one more thing. Can I be honest with you though? It turns out I was going to have this conversation with Sheena, and I'm not getting her permission to say it, but I'm just going to say it at this point. I just know she won't mind. It turns out Gabby Patino is Spanish. She's Latinx. So they didn't give a F about her, culturally. Because she's Latinx. She's not white people. She's a blonde Latinx. And in white culture, 1% Latinx, they see you as a maid. Sorry.
I'm just saying. All right, we got to stop this.
Oh, this is
We
good.
can.
Look what
This is
Jewel
a whole
Jackson.
nother
Come on,
topic.
Miss
Go
Skye,
ahead.
the thing. Jewel Jackson, come on, Miss Skye. Yes, it's a thing of things, sis. I'm just saying, if you just think of it in that way, it would help. And I think even for us, if everybody's in the room, be it you white, black, Asian, whatever you are, if you just take that moment, a conversation I had with a Lyft driver, and I think I blew his mind. He was talking about something about race. He said something, and I said, "You let me ask you a question. Where are you people from?" He was like, "Oh, we're from Israel, blah, 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 and generations." He went back, and I was like, "Oh, so your family originally from Germany?" And he was like, "Yeah." But so you could find your family back at least what 50. He was like, "Yeah." I was like,
Mm-hmm.
think for a moment when you think of African Americans, Jamaicans, Haitians, all black people,
Mm-hmm.
Brazil. They can
All
only
black.
find their ancestors back 400 years. That's 4 generations. And he got caught. I said, so you have to wonder why they feel the United States owes them so much. Because if you
Right.
send them back to Africa, they really don't know. They can't find an aunt, a cousin, or 3 generations back. So when they
Nope.
say this is their land, this is their land. We were traveling way before slavery. Let's start there. I said, but if you think about it, they can only go back 400 years. And he got caught. He said, I never thought of that. I said, and that's a problem that more people need to think about. You can find your ancestors back 10, 15, 20 generations. But when you look
Mm-hmm.
at Africans that are Jamaican, Haitian, or all the other cultures, they can go back.
Mm-hmm.
They could find their family back to a slave ship. They cannot say, well, my family, unless they're coming from those countries, from Africa to here,
It's
they
different.
can find
Right.
their
But
family.
not the American. Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I never thought of that. He said, you know what?
Yeah.
Thank you. I never thought of that. I said, and it wasn't with anger. It wasn't like a. He was like, I said, and that's a conversation more people need to have. It'll make you more understanding to the plight. I said, because the White House was built by a bunch of slaves. It wasn't Chinese, Jewish. It wasn't what's called Italians. It was a
It was
bunch of
black.
slaves. You know,
And there are bodies there
and
buried to this day. That's so
thank you.
disrespectful. But you make an excellent point, and I'm glad you had that conversation with the Uber
It
driver,
was
and
nice.
that's why
Yeah.
critical race teaching is important, because
But
some people don't understand it.
But here's the catch with that, Tracy. That's not even thing. That's not even a thing. That is something that's taught in law school to lawyers. You're not talking about kids. This is something that's taught to lawyers. So because white people are so threatened that their kids are, Bob. This is my opinion. Again, unpopular opinion. What's bothering white people more than anything is now the reality about who they are and what
Mm-hmm.
they've done is becoming apparent to their kids. And these kids are like, wait a minute. When you learn that Levittown in New Jersey was specifically made by the government to avoid black people from moving in, not to get houses, that every community that was built, there were 20 Black Wall Streets that were
Mm-hmm.
burned down by the
Yeah.
government, that people have
Yes.
plenty of all these land,
Or
all these
underwater right now. It's a
underwater
lake.
lakes, these man-made lakes. So that's why black people are
So
scared.
you don't want to teach what in the schools?
Exactly.
You
They
want to
don't-
pretend like what didn't happen?
So
Central Park belongs to me.
Yep. It was called Seneca Village.
Seneca
Affluent
Village.
black people, affluent. Then they move into Harlem, but that's a systematic thing. So that's the problem when you really think about it. That is the hard fact that they don't want to. Again, it becomes they too. A P was the PTSS, post slavery. They having that whole acknowledgement, that whole feeling of wow, this is who we are. They don't want their kids to feel bad.
Wait. M. Deborah says it was also illegal to go back to Africa because we were an investment. What? New York State made it illegal. What?
Girl, sis, say it again.
And no one wants to teach critical thinking.
No, they
Then
don't
we are going to. They're ashamed.
That's what it comes down to. It comes down to.
But we're not going to allow their shame
to keep us quiet anymore. And that, by the way, is Uranus and Taurus. All of this right now, all of this debate, Uranus and Taurus, none of this can be hidden anymore. Wherever corruption has been found for centuries, boom.
And here's the biggest lie that they're not that here. There's another one, it's an unpopular thing, but you can do statistics. That's why Google may be your friend. Even then, that's not really a friend, but we're not gonna get into that either. Ultimately, when you look at the statistic of who is on welfare,
it's white folks. More.
Who needs the most help? I'm telling you, take a trip to certain places down south and on the west. There are places where white people are struggling. The only thing they can do is hate other people because they feel like it's set up by rich capital people to make it seem like the reason why they don't have is because of the others. And not realizing, no, it's you, sir. Your politicians are not making sure you get the basics. They're not making sure you get health care. That's why they can't get rid of the American Care Act, as they call Obamacare, because all the people in West Virginia now get health care.
It's white. Yeah. And it was because of white folks. They had to keep
all those coal workers and those factory workers that were put out of work, you can't get rid of it now because they need it. They need it. So again, when we say all this coming together, Uranus and Taurus is putting it out there for more people are talking about it. You know, more people are putting it out there so we can see it. So again, Uranus and Taurus is the work is not done. If it's here till 2026, get ready for pull your socks up and take the information.
Infinite Mystic says, read the book of Negro by Lawrence Hill. He did explain the Central Park. So this is going to be a great gift.
That's something to read.
That's something to read. This is going to be a great gift.
Yeah.
I'm going to order it right now. And this is going to be a great gift come Christmas.
Yeah, I'm going to read that. Like, you know, you always think. You just had you have grandparents who can remember working in these places, servicing. This is just a generation, 2 generations back. There are people that fortunately have family members that can remember from slavery. But I will say a lot of things are happening now. A lot of these black folks and these Indians, these Native Americans, Americans are coming through.
The Native Americans are stepping up. I posted something today where the Native Americans started dancing, and he says, I dance because they wouldn't let us. And I reposted it, and I said, dance for me too. But the Native Americans, ooh, I'm telling you, if all the cultures get together, all this race shit would end. Because it would have to. Because nobody would put up with this crap anymore. And all the Karens that are screaming and yelling, you're screaming and yelling because culturally you can't hold water anymore.
And it's obvious the same thing that Miss Thompson is saying is true. When you look, like when they were talking about, we want to change, I said, so if you're going to change the history books, please know that it was a black man that invented the light bulb.
Yes.
Let us know the red light, green lights, the sewer system, all these things that we have.
Yes.
To bring the alarm system.
But they hid it. Just as one example, red light, green light.
Yeah.
The traffic light.
Yeah.
So maybe that should be a whole class where we all talk about, like I can hold 10 people. Maybe the group can all participate in that education. Maybe we'll have, I don't know if she's willing, but you know me, I'm push somebody to Kara to lead it. And all of us participate because it's right.
There's so much
critical thinking has to be mandated. So if they don't teach it in schools, then we teach it. How about that?
And I think that's a whole big thing. Even now, when
they don't teach it in schools, we have to teach it.
Here's
period.
like Enoch, the person in Enoch, I was like, as Enoch, they don't teach you. Like when you look at the app, like I always look at what I was always amazed, younger, about the Indians. I was like, they look like me. And then you learn. When I got to college, I'll never forget Mr. Guiderizi, and he was like, he's a history teacher. He would talk about how to map the shape, and you go back years, how actually it was one big mass in Africa, and how people could walk across. And he would always say, it's funny, we always talk about Vikings traveling. But did you know that Africans were the first to really travel the world because they helped? That's how they got to Greece and teach Greece about astrology.
That's how they got to Rome, and they were respected because they brought jewels to the other countries. Yep. Also, in Virginia, before slavery, there were free slaves.
Yep.
Already investing in politics, already living there. On the other side, there were free Africans living with the Indians. We were here. We were traveling, but they led us to believe. Well, think about it. All the other countries traveled, but Africa didn't. Think about it. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
It make sense.
But even when you listen to the history of Greece, when they talk about it, they kind of say that, Africans, they say Africans were here and teach them. They say it, but in the kind of quiet 2-3 sentences and leave it on. And again, I think sometimes the things that we hold on to say, look at what they're doing. They help. Somebody just put in about Obama awarded slaveholding natives reparations. It's like at the end of the day, if we do not come together as a people, if we always the problem with us is we don't know what we want as a grouping sometimes.
But a lot of that is changing thanks to the internet. So I don't want to negate all the work that we've done because there's been thanks to the internet, and reparations is a whole big political thing right now. I just came from California. AOS is huge. You haven't heard about it yet, but you will.
I was reading
what our money.
Obama awarded slaveholding natives reparations, how we all mistreat each other. It was like, that's a learned behavior.
Yeah, but it's a learned behavior. So let's be careful when we use those words because I don't participate
in that.
And Skye knows, I think Eva Shea was the one that said it in group the other day. Skye knows I'm not one of those people that is going to keep that slave mentality up, which is why I share my space, which is why I'm not selfish, which is why I don't make it about me, because somebody has to break the PTSS.
Exactly. And this is what she said, Thomas is good. We would never say we were enslaved. Exactly.
We were enslaved, and I appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
I like
yes.
That word.
We were the first on the planet. Our mitochondria was a Black woman.
And they say, and the funny thing is they're saying it scientifically. They're
scientifically.
And it's kind of glazed over. Even now with the family saying, I want my aunt's gene, my great grandmother's genes back that y'all been using for, that are still alive. That woman is still alive, based on the genes that they're using.
You mean Henrietta Lacks?
Yes.
Yeah, they're finally fighting. They're finally fighting.
Yep.
And you're right. She is still alive. Let's be clear about that.
Still alive because of that.
Because she has miracle blood.
Yeah.
And only a Black woman can produce miracle blood. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. So they're going to pay Henrietta Lacks because we are going to support that family. We are going to fight with them.
And you know,
all right, let's get out of here.
With the Christopher Columbus, just so you know, that's not even his real name. Christopher Columbus is because something Christo something. It's not even Christopher Columbus. It's a made up name.
Listen. Caribbeans don't even celebrate the holiday. That's. I was like, you're working, and they're like, yeah. I was like, I got confused because I'm still stateside, and
And I was like, oh, I thought you would have a holiday today. And they were like, no. And I was like, okay. They don't celebrate. They hate that man. Passionately hate. And there are real stories that you guys don't know over in the States. There are stories here in the Caribbean of that man being disgusting. All right, end it. Love you.
Right.
Thank you, everyone.
This was a good discussion, guys. Thank you, guys. It was great.
Oh, wait, this is really important. Thank you, Giacana. She goes, and I like your picture. We have been on the planet for millions of years. Only 500 years have been enslaved. Woo! Let's end it with that. Let's end it with that. Woo! That brings it into perspective. Yes.
That's a good.
And the Arawaks. Remember, I'm in the Caribbean now. They're still alive. They're here. The Tainos and the Arawaks, they're here. Bye, guys. And that's my people, too. So that's how I know.
Bye.
Bye. Because my granddad was Puerto Rican, so they're here. Okay. Bye, guys.
Everybody.
Thank you, Di. Thank you.
Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Tracy Brown, Tracy Brown, Tracy Brown Live.